Number 1. Solve the cognitive dissonance. Ask yourself this: why don't you bother your boss with trivial questions or decision making? Could it be because you think their time would be best served on more important matters? Well then, don't you deserve the same respect from yourself? Don't overthink insignificant details. Look at them as being beneath you. We can't stress this enough. Your thoughts are a force. Channel it right. Number 2. Life is an obstacle course game. Have you ever tried overthinking in a computer game? It'd be ridiculous, right? Take a bit of distance and fast forward to your life, and suddenly it looks precisely like an obstacle course game. You play until you run out of time. To an outside observer watching your life game, it would look just as ridiculous to overthink every single decision. The faster you power through the obstacles, the more you get to see of life. It's simple math. Distance equals speed times time. Number 3. Optimize your probabilities. At its core, overthinking is a risk optimization process, which isn't unhealthy, except when you're trying to optimize an infinite number of parameters. Use this formula to guide you. Your total happiness is a weighted sum of all the projects in your life. Marginal happiness from each event will be the happiness it gives times its probability of happening. The key learning here is that you should only pay special attention to the following 3 groups: high probability events, high happiness events, and most importantly, events at the intersection of the previous 2. For all other cases, just don't be bothered. Number 4. Always aim to clarify. Do you tend to speculate about what other people think or the motives for their actions? Then ask them the clarifying questions rather than cracking codes. Be direct with them, and you can only hope they'll be direct in return. Let's not waste this beautiful gift of communication. Be better than that. Tip: thoughts should be part of an intentional decision process, ideally organized under a pros and cons list. Disordered or speculative thoughts should just be treated as noise. Number 5. Put a deadline on your decision making. We know other people need to put deadlines on tasks, so what? You need to put a deadline on your decision making first and take it seriously. It's not a moving target. Overthinking is often balanced out by underdoing, which is too big of a price to pay for the luxury of extensive thinking. Number 6. Beware of cognitive contagion. Overthinking is contagious, just like any other social behavior, so you should surround yourself with doers, people that love action more than planning. Well, wait a second now, don't dismiss all of your fellow thinkers, just throw in a doer for every thinker to get more of a balanced perception. Here's a bonus tip: fulfilling relationships with secure partners usually leaves little ground for excessive worry, so aim for emotional balance too. Number 7. Follow the normal distribution. To be clear, we also love spending time in a fictional world we create in our minds, but there's a caveat. That universe needs to approximate a normal distribution, which reality often emulates as well. We tend to focus on extreme scenarios in our head, but forget that these are just the tails of the distribution, when life is luckily in the middle, on average at least. So do this. Brainstorm the worst case scenario, and then give a probability of it happening. The thoughts will surely scare you, but their small probabilities will make you tolerate them better, assuming you're acting rationally, of course. If you accept that risk, proceed and never look back on it. Number 8. Solve the cognitive diffusion. Let's face it, overthinking is often an old habit that we might even do as a hobby. It does involve thinking, so it obviously can be quite rewarding. To cure this, you need a way to be kind to yourself whilst being brutal with your actions. How do we achieve this? Simple. Don't label yourself as an overthinker. That would be factually incorrect since no one overthinks absolutely everything. And plus, haven't you heard we should only generalize to our advantage? Be pragmatic and deal with concrete solutions instead. Number 9. Become a risk seeker. When overthinking, you aim to hedge all risks in your life and eliminate the element of surprise. Ask yourself this: why is it you fear the unknown more than the average person? Understand that life is not an uphill journey. You can always fall, no matter how high you are and despite all risk aversion in the world. So why fear falling now when it's bound to happen at some point, right? Possibly from an even higher hill. Tip: be sure to watch our next video on perfectionism, as that could be the answer to your fear of the unknown. In the end, it's not the status quo that makes life worth living. It's exactly those bridges between different chapters in our lives. There's much excitement in not knowing what comes next, so welcome it into your life with open arms. And don't forget, life is beautiful in your thoughts, but so is reality. If you like this video, be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments, but don't overthink it too much. We'll see you in the next one.